But the nice part about these is it is loaded with a lot of minerals. So if you're doing a planted tank, they work really well to All right guys, welcome to the Tye-Dyed Iguana. I'm Eric. Today we're going to talk about rock. So we carry a lot of different types of bulk rock here in the store. And whether you're doing aquascaping or just kind of adding some additions to your aquarium, you don't really know what they look like until they really get into the water because there's dust on them, things like that. You can kind of have a rough idea, but they just don't look the best when they're just sitting in a bin. So today I'm going to kind of feature some of the rocks that we do carry, let you see what they look like when they're a little cleaned up, kind of in the water, and just make you have a little bit more of an informed decision when you do add to it. First rock that we're going to use is going to be Pagota Stone. Now this one I did recently rinse off, but the Pagota Stone in an aquarium does look really interesting. You can see those nice multiple layers inside of there. Just kind of depends on the sedimentation while the rock was formed, and does have a really cool appearance to it. Just a really nice kind of natural look that goes along with that, and you can do some really cool aquascaping. Next one here that we're going to look at, this is a red slate. Kind of looks like more of a quartz kind of slate, which is really weird, like a red quartz. But this in that aquarium, if that pleco decides to move, with that lighting on there, gets you a nice kind of pink hue, just kind of depending on what kind of biotope you're looking at. If you're trying to get something really specific in the way that you're setting up your aquarium to look like a specific area, definitely works well. Next one here is our black slate. Really awesome rock. Once you kind of get it in the water, it does have some really cool kind of shimmer to it. I'm not sure if the camera is really going to pick that up for us today. You can kind of see some of that really cool shimmer in there. Adds a little bit more of a dimension other than just being a rock. It kind of has that little nice sparkle and looks really cool. Our next rock that we have looks pretty awesome, really nice and porous. Kind of reminds me of more of a lava rock than anything. But as you can see, you put this into the tank. This gets used a lot for cichlids, makes some nice rocky outcrops, things like that. Now this one can raise your pH a little bit, so just be careful, make sure you're matching your rock to the type of system that you're using. You definitely don't want to use this with any like discus for sure, where your pH is staying a little bit lower, well, a lot of bit lower. But it works out great with a lot of your African cichlids that do need that higher pH range. Now, if you actually look behind that rock, that is actually all lace rock that's in there as well. It's just been covered in algae, been in there for some time. This tank tends to still stay pretty neutral with all the plants and other things going on in there, so we don't have to worry about that pH as much. Our next rock here is actually Siru Stone. Very commonly used for a lot of aquascaping. People will stack this or kind of set it where it looks like mountains. It works really well to make kind of a false mountain range inside your tank, you know, rocky outcrops, things like that. And as you can see, this one's got some really nice marbling on it. Just kind of adds another dimension into that tank, just makes it look like you're kind of shrinking down the actual tank and making a miniature diorama of sorts. If you remember doing those from school, just kind of makes it look like a nice little mountain. Another slate that we have here is the rainbow slate. Now out of water, it tends to look kind of pinkish, really kind of dry, so to speak. This one is a really cool one that once you put it underwater, you can just see those colors really pop out, and just has a lot of different elements that you can add into your tank that you may not be getting from the fish themselves. Now this one here is our zebra rock. When we set this out on the shelf, it just looks like kind of dusty black. But we put this guy into the tank, and this one just adds in some really crazy patterning and contrast. Kind of depends on how you set it. All sides are a little bit different and all rocks are a little bit different. But you get that kind of cool marbling in there that looks really interesting and almost makes it seem kind of otherworldly. So this here is Petrified Wood. So it is a fossilized wood piece. We do have all different shapes, sizes, kind of colors on these. But you know, right now it just kind of looks brown, but you kind of get it in that water and you can really see a lot of those other colors kind of show up in there. I like this side here quite a bit because you can kind of see the growth rings, things like that, kind of how it was grown. And just really kind of cool to add something ancient into your tank. I guess all rocks are ancient, but it's not like they were formed yesterday. Now the last piece that I grabbed generally has kind of a brownish tan tone whenever you do see it on our shelves. This does get some really awesome color to it. This is the Dragon Rock. And depending on the piece, sometimes you get these really awesome kind of, looks like dragon scales throughout it. Now there's a lot of color that kind of comes into them. I've seen pinks, oranges, reds, some really dark browns, tan, again, just on the individual piece. And if you guys notice when I put it in, it did have a little bit of cloudiness to it. Now, these ones can be fairly dirty. There's little pockets that actually collect a lot of that clay-like debris. But the nice part about these is that it is loaded with a lot of minerals. So if you're doing a planted tank, they work really well to leach those minerals out to kind of benefit the plants overall. Also, if you notice with some of those pockets that are in there, you can easily kind of mount different plants. So Anubias, Java fern, Java mosses, things like that, and really get them growing well in the enclosure, or in the tank rather. All right guys, so I hope that video rocked for y'all, but that's gonna be it for me today. Come check out some of the rock. If you need me to, you know, we could always spray it down, make it look a little bit better for you, see if it pops something out. But hopefully you guys can make some pretty awesome tanks with the rocks we do have, and we'd love to see pictures. So if you can, post them in the comments, and we hope to see you guys next time.